Yeah, everybody wants you to pay for shit, man. Damn, how much money do they think we got?
Enough. They really don't care how much money you have. What they care about is what you're willing to spend of it. Because they're not about to call you and be like, hey, we noticed you spent $50 on us this month. You sure you can afford it? Right?
Hey, so you spent 50, you can spend 80, right? Hey, what's up, everybody? What's going on? It's another week, so it's another A.n.A podcast. What's going on? My name is Alex Mack, and my partner record with me is
Alex Hood. I got my hoodie back.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you living up to your moniker now. You know what I'm saying? But well, yeah, I don't have mine though. Hold on, I gotta get my character on. I mean, I only these are like blue light blockers. So I only wear them like I haven't gotten a migraine recently either. So like and these actually kind of help stop getting like those like oral migraines, I guess they call them or whatever. But yeah, I put my gimmick away now because I don't kind of need them right now. But yeah, what's going on? What is this? This is Monday, June 13th, 2022. And yeah, it's been a minute. It's been a little bit, so yeah, what's going on with you, bro? How's life? How's everything going?
I'm working with a painter right now. That's my new gig at the moment. I went back in the blue collar. I helped paint my house. And now I'm waiting to get moved on to another project. It's commercial and residential. So I'm just waiting to see where they're gonna place me. And
Okay.
Other than that, I mean, shit, man, you know me. I do a whole lot of writing, a whole lot of editing. I'm working on the play for the church. We did the first part and we're coming up on the second.
Oh, there's parts to this. Okay.
Yeah, it's a summer event, for lack of a better term. It's
Nice. Okay.
one part for each month of the summer, and we'll be done at the end of August.
Oh, that's what's up. Okay. Yeah. What's yeah, so you're writing like the whole like manuscript for the play and everything?
I wrote it already. What we're doing now is we're filming the parts it's a hybrid. There's half of it is live performance, and half of it is filmed because it plays over two different timelines. So all the film stuff is flashbacks.
Yeah, that's cool, bro. All right. Yeah, that sounds all right, man. All right. So you doing the play and are you like writing books at all?
Yeah, I'm working on a sequel to Plus Size.
Okay. Boom, that's what's up. I recently got kind of motivated to start writing again. Like it took a minute. Because I don't know, I had to do like certifications, and I'm trying to find a new place to live now. I got to find a new place, and it's just a bunch of family stuff, work stuff. You know what I'm saying? And so yeah, that kind of occupied me. But yeah, I know I recently got motivated to like start doing stuff. It's weird, like the creative things start hitting you just out the blue. It's like, okay, I think I can start like a new treatment again, or like a little rough draft or a synopsis or something. But the thing is, I have like about 6 or 7 like different little kind of like synopsis or ideas for stuff, but I get a block at some point where it's just like I can't. I'm trying, but nothing's coming out. But yeah, it's recently it's been like, okay, yeah, I can start this again.
Yeah, man, strike while the iron's hot, and then once you get something written down, that will carry you through the next dull point if you have something there.
Right. Yeah, no doubt, bro. So yeah, that's what's been going on over here, down in the boonies. But so yeah, man, we gonna this is a freestyle. We gonna be like who's a good freestyler? I'm drawing a blank now. We gonna be like Method Man and like I don't know, Talib Kweli or something in this. We just gonna be freestyling in this mug. You know what I'm saying?
I know because both people are.
Oh my lord! Just, you kind of know who Method Man is.
I know who Method Man is.
Okay, all right. So you scare me sometimes, right? You scare me sometimes. Like, yo, you have to. Talib Kweli is a kind of a deeper cut, so I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you. But yeah. So in other words, we just freestyle this off the rip. We ain't got no script. We ain't got no agenda. We just going to chop it up and see where it go. But
I'm about
but
to
you,
bust the balls for a minute because you didn't put up the last episode. We filmed it like a year ago.
I didn't put that up. Oh my God, I'm a mess. I didn't put that up, did I?
No.
Okay. I slam forgot. Okay. Yeah. All right. So I know what my week's gonna be. So look, so yeah, hey, look out for that. But as Hood does so excellently, uh, as a good little segue into like we on the pods now, so you can check us out anywhere you get podcasts except for Apple because Apple sucks. But or Spotify, uh, uh, Audible, Google Podcasts. Yeah, man, just check us out. And we got 2 episodes coming up pretty soon. Now I just remembered. So yeah, go ahead, check us out, man. And as if always, come over to the YouTube channel. Just search A.n.A Pod on in YouTube and subscribe, man. Subscribe, like some videos. We got one video that should be over 200 by now. I believe, and yeah, man, yeah. So check us out. But no, and again, Hood brought up another like good point that just kind of start going in and talking about the MCU. MCU's in a sort of crazy place right now.
That definitely weird. That definitely weird.
It's all over the place. It's and I kind of want to see Thor. Like I'm going to watch it, but I don't know if I'm going to make it to the movies to see it this time. But after like I loved Doctor Strange, but now like with all the MCU shows on Disney Plus, I don't like we started out with the multiverse and the new multiverse baddie is Kane. Kane, I think his name
That's what it's
is.
looking like. I don't know. I'm not convinced, but that's what it's looking like.
Where's this nigga? Like, where's he at? He's been ghost. So yeah, man. What you think, bro?
I think phase 4 is too obsessed with it's going the way of comics where it's turning into the event show. They want every individual movie to be this massive event. And it's like, I don't know, man. I'm not really here for that. Like Doctor Strange did not feel like a sequel. Spider-Man, it didn't really feel like a sequel either. Like they're both movies that are flexing their gimmick. The Spider-Man thing, the gimmick was all 3 Spider-Men that we've seen in our lifetime, all the actors that have played Spider-Man
Right,
and
right.
some of the villains. And Doctor Strange's gimmick was the multiversal aspect that, you get, spoiler alert, you get Patrick Stewart to reprise his role as Xavier. You get
Yep.
John Krasinski as kind of a meta nod to the fans who wanted to see him playing Mr. Fantastic. You get Captain Carter from the What If series, and it's just like, but they feel like they're gimmicks first and movies second now.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
when you go over to the shows, I don't know. It feels like they're just treading water. You know what I mean? Like I'm not exactly sure what Falcon and the Winter Soldier is probably my favorite of the shows so far. But even that, it's like it didn't seem like an Endgame when Sam is given the shield. It didn't really seem like he was as conflicted about taking it. And then we had to do a whole show, which is about him accepting the position, but it kind of felt like he was already on board.
Yeah.
And then WandaVision, we got to do 9 episodes of let me get over my past. And it's just like, I mean, look, right, leave it where it is and let's actually move on and start telling, real story. If a lot of Phase 4 just felt like an extended epilogue. That's what I'm looking for. An extended epilogue of the Infinity Saga.
Actually, especially Captain Falcon, that really did feel like an extended like epilogue, because it was like it's like both of them trying to pick up like without Steve being there, kind of, and like figuring that whole thing out. And he's like, do I want the Captain America thing? But now I'm a black man in America. I can't do this. I can't be Captain America. And that whole thing, you know what I'm saying? Which I think they wrapped it up beautifully in the
Yeah.
show. But yeah, dude, it seemed like it's just an attachment to Endgame, kind of like when all the craziness died out. Is what was it like a year or 6 months or whatever after Endgame or something?
I think it
And
depends on the show because they're all kind of happening in different places in the timeline.
that's another thing too. At what point is everything happening and going on? Because WandaVision, I guess, or are they releasing them like WandaVision was first because that's the closest to Endgame, and then like each series is kind of like going further out. Because Loki threw everything off to me. Like I like the show, but it was just like, okay, what is happening? Where is this? You know what I mean? Like we got the reveal of Kang, but and plus like he disappeared, bro. Like where is he? Maybe I guess he's going to show up in Thor. If he don't show up in Thor, then it's like, okay, what, what's going on?
But that's the thing. Like they have a lot of people don't realize this, but when you take the Infinity Saga, so much of that was kind of stop and go, touch and go rather, for that first tease with Samuel L. Jackson's Nick Fury at the end of the first Iron Man.
Yeah,
They weren't all like, all right, we know exactly what we're doing. They were kind of trying to figure it out.
yeah,
And they laid the foundation quite beautifully. But when you look back, you can see cracks where you can see clear evidence where it's like they didn't know this was going to be the thing, which is why they did it this way. And that's not a diss. I make that point to say that like now it feels like now that they've had this movement and they're known for the interconnected universe, they're setting so much up so fast, and we don't even know when this is going to play out. Like it's crazy to me to think about. Doctor Strange 2 came out this year. The first movie came out in 2016. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And Doctor Strange has been in a Marvel movie every year since then. But his story, as a like, if you watch Doctor Strange 1 and you go into Doctor Strange 2,
Yeah, you're lost. You're lost. There's no way you know exactly what's going on. And that's kind of ballsy in a way too, right? To like say, okay, we're gonna save number two till like we're this part into the next story. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of ballsy,
but
you
that
know.
exhausts the fans is my point. Like, like because Baron Mordo didn't show up in any other movie except that. And then he shows up in the sequel and it's not even like the one that we're familiar with. So I'm saying that like Kang disappeared, you might see him in Thor, or you might not see him till 2030. And then by then, like, who he'll show back up and remember when we set him up half a decade ago? It's like, bro, what have you been doing all this? I forgot.
Right.
And a lot of people, and the fact that you're introducing your big bad, I'm conflicted about this. You're introducing your big bad or your supposed big bad. That's what they say is supposed to be the case. In a Disney Plus show. I'm just wondering, for the people who follow the movies, are they watching everything? When Kang shows up on the big screen, are they gonna know who this nigga is because you set him up in Loki, which the whole
Yeah.
Loki show was kind of unnecessary to begin. If you ask me, it's again extended extended epilogue. We've seen the story of Loki. We've seen his life. We've seen him die honorably. We've seen him sacrifice himself. And then we're going to take all of that, take a Loki that didn't go through any of that, and put him through all of that again, just in 6 episodes instead of 6 movies. And I'm like, why?
I kind of feel like that was their opportunity to kind of like handhold some people through the whole multiverse theory, or like to kind of like show and explain like, okay, here's the multiverse, and this is the concept of it, and so this is what we're going to be doing the next 10 years or whatever, you know what I mean, or 5 years or whatever, however long it takes for this to play. It seemed like 10 years because again, like in the last phase, the with the Infinity War, you saw Thanos as a stinger or something, like at the end of every movie, or he was involved in like every movie, you know, you it's like, okay, he's coming. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, yeah, yep, that's right, he's coming. We got to deal with him. Kang, though, like it doesn't feel like there's nobody there. It just feels like they're just going, and there's just nothing. We just want to ride now. There's no like ultimate kind of point where everybody's going to meet. It was just assumed. We just assumed that okay, in 5 years everybody's going to be in like another 2 movie huge gala that's going to deal with that guy we saw in Loki. You know what I mean? It doesn't, nothing feels like it's strung together that way, except where they just throw the multiverse in here and there, you know?
Yeah, and I would almost be okay with that if it wasn't for the fact that it feels like they're trying to do both. They're they're trying to they're trying to say everything is in service of this larger picture, but the movies feel so completely disconnected. The movies and shows feel so disconnected from each
Yeah,
other, where
yeah,
you're like, I'll accept if you just want to, because after a decade of everything mattered and everything was connected, I'm cool if you want to go a while with just give us some new characters who are just doing whatever they're doing. I'm fine with that. You know, everything don't got to be in service of a larger narrative, but when you keep dropping in hints to remind me that, oh, by the way, the multiverse this and Kang that and you know whatever this, when it doesn't
yeah.
feel that way naturally, it really feels like you're just throwing it in there just to be like, you know, just so you don't forget. I'm not gonna forget, I promise. I'm here. I know how it works by now.
Yeah, because it's like, what did Moon Knight have to do with the multiverse or anything?
Fuck all.
You know, it was just like, okay, that's a cool story and all, but wait, what are we doing again? You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, that's right, we got this whole story. But I mean, if it's going to be, if that, I or maybe this is we're in the era where they got the Disney Plus app, so they're gonna put a bunch of stuff on there, and you know they're just kind of in this mode where like, yeah, okay, we got all this happening, and then we'll just touch base here and there. You know what I mean? Like when we feel like we should get closer to like the big finale or whatever. Um, but yeah, I don't know, man. I think because the first phase was like how long was that phase? Like
In
four
terms of
years?
years or how many movies?
Like in years. Like
Um, yeah, about four, because Iron Man came out in '08, and then the Avengers came out in 12.
yeah, 2012. And then the second phase was like four, I think. That was about like because Endgame just came out like 2019. So I don't, I mean, and plus what are we? We're 19, 20, 21, 22. We're in year three of this next phase. I think we behind schedule.
Yo said
No,
behind schedule.
I'll say I think we behind, bro. I don't does Kevin Feige have the memo? Like, yo, we 3 years in, son. Like where we at?
No, if
You
you
know what I'm
ask me,
saying?
I think we're ahead of schedule. I just feel like we're ahead in the wrong way. Like I was looking at the numbers, right? 19 movies made up the Infinity Saga, which happened over 10 years. 11 projects have come out since Endgame in 3 years. That
That's a
is,
lot.
yeah, no, for real, bro.
That's a
Like,
lot.
dog, I'm sitting here trying to figure out, like, I feel like you've given me so much and I don't know nothing about what.
Right. Like that's what nothing's connecting really. Nothing is connecting in these movies except for that thing, the MacGuffin. The multiverse is kind of the MacGuffin. He just throw in there like, oh yeah, yeah, throw the multiverse in because we got that thing happening. You know, but none of these shows feel like they're connected like that. I mean, WandaVision connects with Doctor Strange like directly. You know what I'm saying? But Captain Falcon, Winter Soldier, not really. Loki, I mean, the multiverse thing, I kind of,
Yeah,
Moon Knight, no, like not at all.
my homies is in the rebuilding season. You know what I mean? Like they going back to the bench. We need a new kicker. Like, yo, come on, man, come on. Y'all been rebuilding for
Yeah,
3 years. Let's get something going. And it's like
yeah,
they're not all misses. I'm not about to say Phase 4 is horrible because like I see some of these YouTube videos and like they're a little extreme. Phase 4 has definitely had moments, but like I'm becoming more critical of the MCU now, probably because I just feel like I feel like you broke the contract. I'm not as easy to forgive. Like it used to be, and I feel like it hasn't been going on long enough to talk about what used to be, but here we are. It used to be we are making a whole bunch of movies, and if you want to stay caught up with our movies, watch or with our story, watch these movies. And if you want a little bit of bonus stuff,
Right.
just a little extra flavor, watch Agents of Shield, check out Agent Carter, watch the Netflix series if
Yeah.
you want to, but it's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
going to have any bearing on whatever. Now, if you don't watch every second of every single thing, like and it's like that wasn't part of the deal. The TV shows and stuff was supposed to be supplementary material. Now plot happens in like movie plot happens in the show. If you watch Doctor Strange 2 and you didn't see WandaVision and Wanda is going off about these kids you've never met, when did that happen? I saw
Right.
Endgame. That's the last time she was in the movies. What
Right.
happened?
Yeah.
And you're like, nah, sorry, bro. And now you have to be up to date on stuff outside of the MCU. Like if you didn't watch the Spider-Man movies that came out, No Way Home
Oh
is
yeah.
only gonna mean but so much to you. You know what I mean? Like I can't
Yeah.
even understand the MCU by watching all of the MCU at this point. I need more than even the MCU. That's crazy to me.
I'm pretty sure there was some 10-year-old kid watching like the Spider-Man, like, wait, who's that old guy? You know what
Facts,
I
man.
mean? Like, who is he? Where the hell he come from? Watch it, three of them. Wait, what's happening? But
Like,
yeah, I don't know, man. I think you could blame that mouse.
oh,
I
cool, of
think
course.
I think you got to blame that mouse, man. He said, no, I need this on the app. I need people to buy the app, so put it on the app. I don't care about movies. You can do your movies, but I need something for the app. And yeah, it's stretching it kind of thin. Even for me, I'm a diehard comic book nerd. You know what I mean? But even me, it's just like, I mean, I'm here for it. I'm not saying I'm not gonna watch nothing, but it's just like, I mean, yeah, what are we doing though, man? Like, does this? I'm here for it, but what's going on, really?
Man, at this point, I blame the mouse for everything. I damn near blame Disney for fucking cancer at this point. Like, I'm just like, come on now, y'all.
Yeah, no, he's that mouse is taking over the world, man. He got everybody by the balls right now. Yo, you like Marvel? You like Star Wars? Yeah, yeah. No, buy the app. Shut up. Buy the app. I don't want to hear nothing.
I haven't pirated anything in years, and I'm getting this close to going back to that because I don't pay for Disney Plus. I have a friend who pays for Disney Plus, so I watch it through her. And I don't not have Disney Plus because of some like moral high ground or anything like that. Because I feel like it'd be kind of phony to say that and then still use someone else's. I just don't want to pay for any more streaming services, which is why I don't have Disney Plus. Like I pay for Netflix, she pays for Disney Plus, and we alternate paying for Hulu. So like those are my three that I use, but I only pay for one and a half of them because anything more than that, and you might as well pay for fucking cable. Like it's the same price now.
Yeah, I was me and my sisters was talking about that too. Like, all right, we got huddle up and say, okay, I'm gonna pay for Prime, you pay for Netflix, you pay for like Paramount or whatever, because it is too much, bro. It is literally too much, and I'm the problem. I'm 100% the problem because I got damn near all of them, you know, and yeah, and the thing is, I can watch something. I could blow a whole day watching something on each app. Oh, and I got the damn Peacock thing too. I mean, that kind of comes with Xfinity, but yeah, there's stuff on there I can sit there and watch all day. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I am 100% the problem on that. So
Man, niggas about to
yeah,
have to assemble the Avengers just to pay for all this, bro. I got my guy over in Amazon. Like my mom pays for Amazon, so I have Amazon Prime, and she uses my Netflix. And like I said, homegirl got the Disney, and we have someone who has HBO Max. It's like I think
yeah,
at each
that
streaming
too.
service has somebody I know in my circle who pays for that particular one, and we just all have
Oh
access to it.
yeah, Netflix tried to crack down on that too.
Man,
They
fuck
tried
them.
to crack down, and guess what people did? Dropped them left and right. They dropped Netflix like like a mug. Like, and I don't blame them, man. It's too much, and everybody's kind of caught up with Netflix to me. They don't have that much more or better stuff than anybody else at this point. They just got more random stuff. You know what I mean? But
Yeah. That Netflix Marvel deal falling through was probably one of the most detrimental things to them because but the things I heard people talk
forgot
about
about
Netflix the
this.
most was Orange is the New Black, which is over,
I forgot
Stranger
about that.
Things, which is still going, and the Marvel Netflix shows. Those are the three major things I heard about Netflix the last few years. And now, it feels like Netflix is always releasing something, but I never hear about nothing. Like every time I hop on Netflix, I see a new project, but like it doesn't get any buzz. Nobody like I don't see anybody hop on Netflix. Like, yo, you have to watch this. It's like it's just
Yeah,
everything that people talk about on other apps now.
it's kind of random too. Like they'll something will come out and they don't intend for it to be a hit, but it'll be like a massive hit that everybody talks about. What's that Sandra Bullock movie where she was blind or she had to put a thing over her eyes or whatever?
Oh, fuck.
Uh, like
Bird
that.
Box. Bird Box.
Yeah. Like they do stuff like that, and it's not like they don't intend for it to be a hit, but it kind of blows up and everybody talks about it and whatnot. So it's not like the stuff they actually advertise is what Stranger Things. I think
Mm-hmm.
that's just only because it's out now, But I think they're banking all their money. They're like they putting it all on Black, man. They putting it all on Stranger Things at this point because they don't really have that much on there. Like I don't once because and we got to talk about Stranger Things too. Like my guy, they Netflix getting out of pocket, kind of like
I'll have to actually
that's.
watch it.
I mean, I'm not even. That's why I said don't even worry about it because I mean, A is not your thing, and B is like 4 seasons of it, and so for the fourth season, it's 7 episodes. Each of the episodes is like a feature length movie. Like it's like a 70-minute episode, bro. And I'm sitting there like, I mean, at the beginning, it's like, okay, it's cool. It's cool. I'm liking it because like Stranger Things is kind of half a slice of life, like show about like a small town in the 80s and like these a bunch of like awkward kids that you're following them around.
Mm-hmm.
And the second half is like this paranormal demonic creatures in the other world type stuff. And so the first 3 episodes, you're kind of catching up with them because it's been like 3 or 4 years since the last season. And so, okay, yeah, we're catching up with them now. They're all in high school now. And yeah, okay, that's fine. I'm with that. But they started getting filler episodes in there, like just like a filler movie in there. Where like, and I do like they have like because they have a lot of characters in there, and like this group is doing this thing, this group is going to Russia to rescue somebody. This and the magic girl Elle is like she lost her powers, so we're going to see how she regains her powers or whatever. And they have all this craziness happening at the same time, and it gets kind of fun. But then they have like they go through the backstory of the main villain, and yeah, and then like this group goes on this crazy adventure that could have been cut. Like it could have easily been cut. We didn't need to see all that. They get to find some like girl in Utah or something like that. And I'm like, man, we could have cut that. We didn't really need to see all that. And by the end, by the end, you just sitting there like, Christ, man. This is like 10 hours of a show. All that I don't know who could binge all that, but it's good. I like it. It started out strong, but and that's the other thing. This is the first half of the season.
Wow.
So we got another whole damn half to go. It's like
Yeah,
10 hours.
I'm good. I'm cool.
Yeah, it's like, what are y'all doing to me, man? Like, come on. Yeah, like, I got to go to work and stuff. Like, geez. But yeah, I hope this ain't a trend where like all these shows are going to start doing like an hour and a half episodes. It better not be, man, because even in that show, and I like that show, I really like that show. But after a moment, you just like, God, I had to break it up. Like I like watch one episode a night or one every other night. I was saying I had to break it up, man. That's a lot to for like one sitting or just a week. It's just like, damn, dude, I made it. I
Yeah,
watched all this.
I can do once a week. I actually honestly I think shows should go back to the whole weekly format. I think that's because I've noticed that when I tackle a season in like a day or some shit like that. Like I watch when Cobra Kai drops. Every time Cobra Kai drops, I get my friends together. I get my mom together. We sit down, we watch it, run through it in like 5 hours, and then I'm just sitting there longing because it's like, all right, I'll be back in a year. Because that's what like when you had
Yeah,
one of the advantages of network television with that weekly thing is that you had a year of television. It ran from about October to May. That was the season, like a school year basically. And then you
yeah,
didn't get anything new over the summer, at least with that show. That was, they take the summer off, or maybe not take the summer off. That's when they're producing and filming and everything like that. But for you, you don't get anything new for a few months. And then you come back and then they give you another 20 episodes to take you through another year. And it was cool. So it was ever present, something to always talk about, something to always theorize with your friends, something to constantly enjoy.
yep.
And now it's like, all right, all 10 episodes here all at once. You take a day or two to watch that. And then you that's why like can't nobody like wait for the next season because you basically get one day a year with the product. And then now you just want to and the conversation doesn't last very long because you talk about everything all at once. You saw the beginning, the middle, and the end all in one sitting.
Yeah.
You have your conversation, you talk about the twist at the end and blah blah blah, and then you don't say shit else. It's not it's too superficial now.
I used to think that was the ultimate. Like, oh man, I gotta wait like a whole what was it like 8 weeks to see a whole show. I could just watch it all right now. But yeah, after a while, it gets it kind of loses it a little bit. Like, I mean, yeah, if you really love the show, like, yeah, okay, you can just watch the whole thing in one sitting, and I guess kind of go on with your life, kind of thing. But I don't know, and I think Netflix. I think Netflix might be the only one that's still doing that because I know a couple of shows on like Paramount Plus and Hulu, they'll just like do like that 1 week, and then you got
Mm.
to Disney Plus does that too. Like, you know, you got to wait for the next week to see it. And I used to get like irritated at it, but now it's like, okay, yeah, no, that's cool because it's a lot to watch. Especially, and if you get busy, then yeah, you might as well just call that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But yeah, so no, it good. It evens stuff out. You can anticipate it a bit. But I'm really old school in that too. That's something I'm used to, like just growing up. So I'm pretty sure a lot of younger people probably be like, man, bump that, give me the whole show. I want to see everything like in one night. I want to stay up till 4 in the morning watching the show. Obi-Wan, Obi-Wan, bro. So I like the show. Like I'm liking it. It started out pretty strong, just like with Stranger Things. It started out pretty solid, but that last episode, bro, that was just like the writing just fell apart in that. Like, did you remember the scene like towards the end where they rescued Leia and he had like an overcoat on.
Yeah, that was
And
that was a little weak.
I was sitting there like, come on, bro. Why are we doing this? You know what I mean? Like, it's not like nobody else in the empire has a beard. Like you couldn't cover that up or something. You know what I'm saying? And then he's just walking clearly. Like that's like a child smuggler's like first move is just to get like an overcoat or something. Just like, no, nothing to see here. We just walking. I'm just walking. Yeah, oh, that was horrible, bro. I don't know. But I love the first 3 episodes. That third episode, which might be my favorite. But
That's expected. That's expected. Yeah.
It fell apart after that first one, but I don't know what do you think on about it?
The Obi-Wan sections I thoroughly enjoy. The Reva character I'm okay with. My main complaint about the show is that it just doesn't feel like Obi-Wan is the central figure. It feels like they're more interested in telling the story between Reva and Leia, and Obi-Wan is kind of just the catalyst to tell that story. Whereas, like when I heard they were making an Obi-Wan show, I envisioned dude who is heartbroken because of everything that happened, who is in the mountains and finds like, or not the mountains, the deserts of Tatooine. And I thought the thing that would spur him back to action was Qui-Gon coming back. Because at the end of Revenge of the Sith, Yoda says that Qui-Gon learned immortality. And we know that Obi-Wan eventually learns it because he Force Ghosts in Empire Strikes Back. And if you watch the Clone Wars series, they delve a little bit deeper into that as to how direct Qui-Gon was involved with Yoda and all of that. So I was like, all right, we'll get a minute. We'll get like a very personal kind of after the war Obi-Wan who has to find his faith again.
Right.
And I'm not
Yeah.
saying they're not kind of doing that because he had lost his faith and then Leia spurs him into action. But something about the line in The New Hope where Leia reaches out to Obi-Wan on the basis that he knew her father, it didn't read to me that she knew him. You know what I mean? Like, and this is canon. So now now when I watch A New Hope, you're telling me that Leia had a whole adventure with Obi-Wan 10 years, but like when she was a little girl, because she doesn't seem to know who he is in A New Hope. And that's a small
Oh,
thing,
she
but
didn't? No, because I think that's the message when R2 popped the little thing out, it kind of to me it kind of hinted like she knew him already, or at least knew of him or something like
yeah,
that.
she knew of him because of her
Or
father.
okay, because I always read that as like she knew him and like but didn't know his whereabouts, or whatever, and was just trying to like, hey, find Obi-Wan. He's out there somewhere. But because and then they had to fill in some kind of backstory of like as to how exactly she knew who Obi-Wan was, I guess. Because to me it was kind of left wide open or open enough to where you can like kind of shove another show or movie or whatever in there to kind of like bridge that gap. And but also I would have been totally fine with it not being a thing, and that's just how it happened, or we just never knew like the direct connection to it. But I don't like it's yeah, I would, like you said, I was expecting to see like an Obi-Wan that was like a little bitter, a bit depressive or whatever. But Obi-Wan's like completely washed. Like he's
Yeah.
completely just like he is lame as hell now. And like he's working his little like dead end job, like in a meat factory or whatever. And he got still a piece of meat for his space camel or whatever the hell you call that thing. And yeah, I was like, damn, that's not the Obi-Wan I was expecting. I think, and they did the same thing with Luke too. Like it just reminded me of like what they did with Luke in the new movies. It was just like I was expecting like older Luke, I don't know, somebody who was like a little bit sharper or I don't know, just something just different than what the hell we got. Anyway, um but yeah, I like and the Reva. So I don't understand the hate. Well, I know I understand some of the hate with the Reva character, but I don't understand like why people dislike her in the show. Because I mean, she is like basically she's a Sith. Like that's kind of they're cutthroat, they're backstabby. They're devious. I don't see like a problem with her, kind of.
No, I was by the time I saw the show, I had heard all the controversy because I didn't watch the show when it first came out. I was about a week
Okay.
behind. So I was looking for what about her is hateable, and I couldn't find it. You know what I mean? Like I was like, she seems like a pretty standard bad guy for a Star Wars show. You know what I mean? Like nothing. She doesn't seem spectacular. I'm not about to say she's the best thing that ever happened in Star Wars. She seems pretty standard so far,
Yeah,
but that's another thing. It's been 4 episodes. I don't know what the future of this character is. I do know for continuity's sake, and this is just how I feel. The more you expand on the same era of any work, I feel like the less freedom you have. Like Reva's influence can only be but so large
yeah.
because if you want to respect the source material, because in another 10 years,
We
the
don't know who the hell
Inquisitors
she
are
is.
gone. Yeah, the
Yeah,
Jedi completely it's everyone has completely forgotten about all it. So what happens in the next 10 years where all of this just gets covered up by the Empire? You know what I mean? And the more these stories become big and whatever. And now they're talking about Obi-Wan getting a second season, which I have to say, like I'm not on board with that because
mm,
the idea is I can accept that Obi-Wan has done something between Revenge of the Sith and the New Hope because that's a 20-year gap. So that's not really surprising to me at all that there's more story to tell. Sure, if you want to make another story. But like the more that goes on, I just at what point does he become the old hermit that has a reputation for being a crazy guy on tap? Because everyone knows him and they stay away from him because he's supposedly crazy, which means he's been there for a while.
right.
So he left, became he walks away from the Jedi Order, then he gets depressed, then he gets a job working whatever he's doing at some point. He goes on another adventure, and then whatever season 2 will entail, which will presumably be another adventure on top of the other adventure. He learns immortality from Qui-Gon, and then he poses as the crazy guy. Like we're fitting all this in the next 10 years because he's trying to reach out to Qui-Gon in one of the episodes, and Qui-Gon doesn't reach back. And again, that's what I'm saying. Those are the elements of the story that I'm interested in. How did he? What would his reaction be? I want to see that first interaction between him and his master that was taken from him so early. You know what I mean? Like how would he react getting to hear his voice for the first time in decades? You know what I mean? I don't care about baby Leia. And it's not because I don't care about the character Leia. It's just I don't care about her in uh in relation to Obi-Wan in a show that's called Obi-Wan. There are other interesting facts about Obi-Wan that I'd rather deal with.
That seemed to me more like a marketing move to bring like baby Leia in this. That we got to bring the kids in. You know what I'm saying? So because they got they're gonna have the little kid Leia action figure and the little robot she got.
Fuck them
This
kids.
man. Hey, look, that's the mouse. I'm telling you that mouse is a mother. You know what I'm saying? He gonna find a way to market this. Okay, but yeah, I would not be surprised if like the last episode we see Qui-Gon in some form or fashion. You know what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't be surprised if that's the hook they have to like set up for season 2. Um and or maybe even Reva as like the main baddie in that one because she's she's like a pain in the ass in this one. So she's like disrespectful as hell to like all her co-workers. You know what I'm saying? Like just doing whatever it takes to like brown nose the boss.
Yeah, she's ambitious. I can respect that.
Oh man, that's cutthroat. That's like the worst. That's the absolute worst. But I don't. But like the things that happen with her though, the only hateable things I see about her is just how they wrote the characters, and that not just that, like the story is kind of falling apart by episode 4 because we didn't really need to go in there. Oh, first off, the one thing that threw me was the end of the 3rd episode, I think, where like Obi-Wan tells that lady that helped him to go after Leia, make sure she gets like to the ship or whatever. And she just leaves her. She just like says, you know what, no, I'm gonna go back and get my guy. You cool, right? You cool. Just keep going. And I
Yeah,
was
just
just
so
like,
she can get kidnapped.
it's just like lazy writing. And just like real lazy writing. And it was just some eye roll moments here and there, but until that last episode, man, it was laughable, bro. It was just like, God, really? You started off so strong. And now we just devolving into like all this stuff. And the way she was toying with Leia and the little torture machine was just was funny. It was more funny than annoying. Was you like, come on, tell me. If you don't tell me, then I'm gonna have to flip the switch. Are you sure you don't want to
No,
tell
real,
me?
real shit though.
I was just like, man, flip the damn switch, would you? Can we get on with this?
What are we doing? And I'm not about to say that I know better than them because I haven't worked in the industry. So, take this with a grain of salt. But I almost feel like this is just my ideal version of this show. I think it would be great if the show opened with he could open in the same place, all depressed or whatever. Let the first episode end with Qui-Gon reaching out. He hears from Qui-Gon. Spend the next couple episodes having this interpersonal relationship restore him to maybe a little bit of his former glory, and then have that newly found optimism inspire him instead of discovering that Anakin is alive, because I don't buy that he doesn't know that. I don't buy that this is the first time. Darth Vader is such a crucial figure. I just don't buy that Obi-Wan wouldn't know that. And maybe just have it all surmount to him deciding, you know what, I'm gonna go and try to bring him back one last time. Because he didn't really try to pull Anakin back in Revenge of the Sith. I would love if this show ended with him trying to get Vader to see the light, and then they have that fight. Instead of that happening in episode 3.
Oh, I don't know. Vader is like gone at this. Like Vader is like gone. He like snapping necks and everything in this one. This is like peak Vader. You know what I'm saying? But
Well,
I
yeah,
wonder
I'm
if
not saying it would work. I'm saying he should try.
oh, I don't know. I don't know, especially because he has it out for Obi-Wan. He has it like he like sending people like that. No, go to Tatooine and find this nigga. You know what I'm saying? But I wonder if he doesn't know that because Obi-Wan just cut himself off from the Force, maybe, and that's why he's just like for like 10 years he's been cut off from the Force. That's why he can't do anything now. You know what I mean? Like, but they don't say that. They don't. I'm just reading into that. You know what I mean? So I don't know because he never really saw him die. He's just assuming, or maybe he was hoping. you know, he's just hoping he was dead. But
I
yeah,
might just be a hater.
yeah, everybody thought you was tough shit, and then you turned on us. But
No.
now I wonder if I love the reveal, like when he realized that Anakin was still alive. Like, oh, especially that when he was when Vader actually came to that little village he was at, and he was like just straight Vader. He pulled that dude, said one dude who was like looking out the window. He said, "Man, bring your ass here."
No, for real.
And then, and like Obi-Wan was just looking out the blind, like, oh shit, I ain't going out there.
That left a bad taste in my mouth. Seeing Obi-Wan cower like that while other people are getting killed.
Kids, bro, like he snapped this kid neck or like this little teen kid's neck, and I'm like, oh
for
damn,
real, yeah.
Vader.
Man up and go fit. Like you were responsible for this because you didn't do what you should have done at the
True,
time. So go
true.
face him down. I don't know, man. Why doesn't, like I said, I could just be being a hater because before the show came out, I was driving home with one of my friends and we were speculating. And she was the one that suggested to me that Obi-Wan doesn't know that Darth Vader is Anakin Skywalker or doesn't know that he's alive. And I swore so vehemently that that is not the case, that there's no way Obi-Wan doesn't know that Vader's alive. And I was just like, you'll see when the show starts. And that's just not, I was like, I kept telling her how wrong she was. And then here we go. And he doesn't know. And I was like, damn.
I'm
Damn.
trying to think, why would he know exactly? Because I'm pretty sure if he was still using the Force or like, meditating or whatever, he probably would have. And also, that's probably what kept him or Vader from finding him too, was him just like completely cutting himself off. So that might be what's going on. But why don't they say that though? They should at least say that or add a line there or something. You know what I mean? Because we just guessing. you know.
Well, here's my rationale. Um, I know, and this is both from just how the logic I'm using and what I know canonically to be true. One, we know that Obi-Wan knows that Anakin's Sith name is Vader because he watched a hologram where Palpatine addresses him as Vader. And even if that didn't happen,
Oh, he did. Okay.
yeah, in Revenge of the Sith, and even if that didn't happen, we know that Yoda knows that Anakin is Vader because the Emperor told him. And you could assume that Yoda would tell Obi-Wan that Darth Vader is Anakin Skywalker. Now, fast forward, we know that in the years following Revenge of the Sith, canonically, the Inquisitors and everything else, there was this hunt for all remaining Jedi that they were going all over the galaxy looking for any survivors. And the Empire, an empire doesn't just, he dissolved it into an empire. He dissolved the Republic into an empire. But it's not like it just became the empire that it knew, that we know in the original trilogy the next day. It took a while. Right. And Vader was one of the strong fists of fury in terms of helping frame the galaxy into that empire. He's Palpatine's muscle. He's his right-hand man. So I'm saying, not even from a Force standpoint of him feeling it, I'm saying the reputation of Vader as the Empire
would just should have reached him.
Yeah. Especially if he has a job. Nobody is on the assembly line just being like, yo, this Empire fucking sucks, man. That nigga Vader. Fuck that nigga, yo. You get like nobody.
Right. Yeah. That's again lazy writing. You know what I mean? Because just going through it, I mean, we're kind of doing their job for them. We're like filling in all these blanks. But then you don't have that crazy reveal or that dramatic reveal in the second or third episode, where Reva tells him that, Anakin's still alive. And, he just has that dramatic look and like, oh God, is it true? And so, yeah, I don't, man. That was a kind of another eye rolly kind of thing. You know what I mean? But the show was going at a good clip. So I just kind of, yeah, whatever. Okay, fine. We're going.
I feel like you could have had a better reveal. You could have taken that same moment and had Reva. If Obi-Wan Kenobi has been pretending to be somebody else, why not have that same reveal, but the reveal instead be, or that same moment, but the reveal instead be that Reva now concretely knows that he's Obi-Wan. It's like, I know who you are. And maybe he's been going by a completely different name, because we know he adopts the name Ben. So up until that point, and then we just had that moment where she says, right, I know who you are, Obi-Wan. And now Vader knows where you are. And then same moment, Anakin opens his eyes because now he knows where Obi-Wan is. That could have been the moment right there. It doesn't have to be, we don't have to come up with a BS reason as to why Obi-Wan doesn't know Vader is a thing. And instead, it's just, he has actively been hiding from Vader, because that's clear. He's clearly been hiding. And that's fair, because the galaxy completely lost the war. So I'm not mad that Obi-Wan has been hiding, but just have that moment where Reva deduces that, oh no, Ben, this nigga Ben is Obi-Wan. That's not his real name. That's Obi-Wan. And now I'm telling Vader, hey, yo, Ben, Vader knows you're here now and he's coming. And then that could just be that's drama enough for him to know that he's been discovered.
I actually prefer that over the whole Princess Leia, thing we're doing in the show now. Like, because they could have totally done that thing where, like, the Inquisitors come in and they're like, we're looking for a guy named Ben or something, and then they start going through all of Tatooine looking for a guy named Ben, and he catches word or whatever. But I don't know. But I guess they figured they can shoehorn something like that in because of the whole like A New Hope thing that kicked off the whole franchise basically. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It was I was fine with it. I was cool with it. It's just that now it's just starting to it's kind of starting to go off the rails. I can't wait till Wednesday because I want to see if are we going to just completely go off the cliff, or are they going to like right the ship a little bit? Because
Yeah,
I don't know, man. I loved it, and then now I'm just kind of like, man, this is getting goofy, you know. Um,
Disney Star Wars is another one of those things that's just it's very controversial. I've Disney has given me some truly great Star Wars moments. I think The Mandalorian is really good. I
yeah,
think I think even the last season of Clone Wars is excellent.
I haven't
Clone Wars
finished
as a
it.
whole is great, but the reason I can't give all the credit to Disney is because Clone Wars was largely a Cartoon Network show, and then Disney acquired it.
Yeah, yeah. Then they took it over.
But the Clone Wars that I got under Disney was still great, so I can't deny that. And like I said, I like The Mandalorian. I like elements of the sequel trilogy, elements, but as a whole, I don't care for the sequel trilogy. But there are moments in the sequel trilogy that I really do like. There's just not many. Um, and I love Rogue One. I absolutely love Rogue One.
Yeah, that
I'll
too.
die on that
Yeah,
hill.
yeah, yeah.
But everything else, I didn't give a fuck about Boba Fett. Um,
Well, they turned it into the Mandalorian season 2.5.
they did. That was
You
the only
know,
time it was good.
yeah, they knew what they were doing. Like somebody knew exactly what. It's like, okay, nah, we can't do this. We gotta make a U-turn on this. Bring in the Mando and the kid. Like, yeah, we need it.
Man, what I just whatever. I wasn't fucking with it, and I don't care for Rebels at all. Um,
Rebels.
like I said,
That's the airplane one, right? Or is that the one with
no,
the
that's
kid?
yeah. The in the the sequel to Clone Wars, almost the other animated show. That's
That one was cool. That's the one where what's his name came back? Darth Maul. That's the one where Darth Maul came back, right?
well, it came back again because he came back in Clone Wars,
Or he
and
came
then
back in Clone Wars too.
yeah, he was
Oh,
he was
that's too.
he was instrumental in Clone Wars. He was actually better in Clone Wars than he was in Rebels.
Oh, word.
Everything was done better in Clone Wars than it was in Rebels. Rebels was, whatever.
I haven't finished the last season. So yeah, I was here and there. I'll go back and watch it. Bad Batch is actually decent too. That's not that bad.
Yeah, I do like that. I do like Bad Batch. Their animated stuff is more reliable, I think, than their live action stuff. I
Yeah,
don't.
100%. Especially their movies. Their
Yeah,
movies, like I'm not hyped to see another Star Wars movie. Honestly, I saw like half a Solo, and that was, eh, you
you
know.
you didn't miss much in whatever half you didn't see. You know, like you. I
Yeah, no.
tried.
Oh, go ahead.
No, you wrong. You did it.
Nah, if everything except for what's his name? God, you just said it. So oh my God, what's the dude's name?
Han Solo.
Boba Fett.
Oh,
Christ.
well,
Yeah, everything except for like Boba Fett has been pretty good, like as far as Star Wars shows go. But I mean they can't they'll of course they're gonna have some misses. That's kind of like the strange thing with MCU. Like they don't they haven't really missed yet. I know a lot of people didn't like Loki or whatever, but that's kind of not a miss either. That was all right, you know.
well, we got to disagree. I feel like the MCU missed a lot during
You
Phase
know,
One.
I just because everything they put out, oh well, no, hold on, I forgot. I keep forgetting about Eternals. I keep forgetting that movie exists. Actually, yeah. All right, so I do got to take that back because I forgot all about Eternals. But they have way more hits than they do misses, and I think on
Sure, but they also they're reliable. Like the MCU is like fucking McDonald's. You know what I mean? Like you don't really have a bad experience at McDonald's, but like you don't have a truly great experience. It's just it's serviceable. You know, you're hungry, you get something to eat. Now, when you do have a
damn,
bad experience at McDonald's, it's a really bad experience. You get Eternals or Black Widow, you know,
I
and
forgot. Yeah, I forgot about Black Widow too. See, I just blinked them things right out my mind. I don't even think about them.
Look, the Disney Plus shows have been the McDouble and the McChicken, like good enough to eat because I want my MCU fix or whatever. But like it's mid the current state of I say the current state of Star Wars and the MCU, they're both missing something. And I don't know what that something is, but because
Writing.
it's not horrible in either one. I think that people are blowing a lot of this shit way out of proportion. People say Obi-Wan sucks. I think you're wrong. I don't think it sucks. I think it could be done better, but I don't think it sucks. And people say the MCU currently sucks. I think they're wrong. I don't think it sucks, but I think both Star Wars and MCU are becoming the thing that robs them of the ability to be anything more than kind of average. They're becoming kind of just so assembly. You know what I mean? It's just coming off the assembly line. They're producing so much, they're oversaturating the market that they're coming out with a new product so frequently that
Yeah.
they can't really take their time with any one thing and really let it, marinate. So we get a bunch of stuff that, you have people who know the game well enough to give you something that you won't hate, but you don't
Right.
truly love.
Yeah.
And I don't like that.
Yeah. It almost feel like a mandate, almost like we must have something coming out on the app every 2-3 months or something like that. You know what I'm saying? We need like an MCU thing here. We need a Star Wars thing here. Then we need another MCU here and another Star Wars thing. It do feel like it's just coming off of like you said, an assembly line, kind of. So I don't, but it hasn't. As far as MCU, it hasn't gotten stale though. I think I said that in the other one. I think I said that before. Like it hasn't yet gotten stale to me. You know what I mean? I'm still here for it.
I don't know, man. I'm starting to feel that like obligatoriness. You know what I mean? Like when I sit down in front of the screen, I'm starting to feel like I'm here because I'm supposed to be. That's I have not felt that so much with the MCU since Phase 4. Like, and it's really just the shows because the movies are spaced out enough that I can go to the movies and be like, okay, cool, I'm here. But I'm not really getting a break from the MCU because in between all the movies is the shows that they're releasing.
Yeah.
And that was the thing about getting the movies twice a year. Between this movie and that movie, there were a few months where there was no MCU. There was just discussion of MCU. But now they make sure every bit of time between their movies is filled with more of their shit. So I don't know. Like when Endgame came out, I watched that movie and I didn't watch anything superhero related for like 4 months. I just decided I'm going to take my exit and I'm going to any entertainment I do is not going to be superhero related. And it felt nice because because I love the superhero genre, but it just felt complete. So I put it all down I didn't watch The Boys. I didn't read anything DC, Marvel, Invincible, like none of that. I completely backed away from Arrow, Flash, all of it. I was like, no more superhero
Oh
stuff for a while.
man.
I'm not giving it up. I'm just saying, I'm going to take a break from it. And it felt nice to not have it all here for a while. And now it's just like, damn, there's no way out, bro. There's the only way out of this game is in a bag. It feel like, and I don't want to go that way.
Yeah. I mean, especially like they releasing the shows a month later. They release the movies, and then the shows they're doing like they're dripping it out like every week is another episode. So yeah, it do. I don't know. It's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot. The fatigue hasn't set in yet though. So I don't know. I'm not really. I mean, the Miss Marvel is the first episode is it's fine. It's cool.
He'll be
I
feeling it by the end of the year. Y'all just wait. He'll be feeling it.
probably yeah. Well, maybe I am because I'm like I mean Thor's coming out and I'm like I don't. Am I going to the movies to see that? You know what I mean? So I don't know. Maybe because it used to be like oh a movie's out. I'm on it. I'm there. But now it's just like I don't know, man. I'll see. I'll see what's going on. You know what I'm saying?
I'm definitely going, if only because I kind of have a vested interest in Thor's story being over because he's the only legacy character that's like still getting a titular movie, and which makes sense because he's the god, so he can he lives longer than them, so his story can go ahead and keep going. But I kind of want him to get a conclusion the way the other ones did. I think he deserves an end to his story. Cap got an end, Tony got an end. I guess the Hulk still hasn't ended, but it is they
Yeah,
don't know.
he's in movie limbo now. Like, well, who's this? It's with Disney and what other company? His rights is tied up with. I think.
Universal.
Yeah, yeah. So he's in. The only way he gonna get an end is in somebody else's movie.
Word. But it's time. It's if we're really moving into the new age, it's time to let them go. And I don't mind moving on from them. I really don't. I don't mind that Falcon has become Captain America. I don't mind that it looks like Jane is going to be the new Thor. And it's not just because of the fact that these things have happened in the comics. I genuinely I want these things to move on. I want stories to end and I want new things to start because it gives a sense of finality. And that way, if the MCU just stops working for me, you know what I mean? I have an endpoint. There's a story that I got to see the conclusion of, and
Yeah.
now I just say, all right, I'm just not with this generation. I'm gonna it belongs to y'all now. Go ahead and do
Oh,
what y'all want with it.
we going there with it though. We're actually going there with it. Like, we don't have generations of like MCU heroes now.
Yeah,
Wow, that's crazy, bro. That
and I'm
is
not even
crazy.
no for real, and I'm not even saying that I can't vibe with what they're doing at the moment. I'm just saying that like I enjoy the concept of finality to some degree because it just feels good. So go ahead and let Chris Hemsworth have an end. Let Mark Ruffalo have an end. Because I expect these characters to eventually. I don't expect Moon Knight and Miss Marvel and Spider-Man. I don't expect them to do it all forever. I expect another passing of the torch at some point, and that would be cool too, because then we can say goodbye to these guys. We can spend another 10 years with them. They can get their run and then they can pass it on. And it could work like that. Honestly, I just don't
True.
I don't want it to feel like because in the comics, you don't get that finality in comics because the status quo has to be maintained. So every time you get this beautiful, heartfelt story with a character where it's like it feels like, oh, here's Wolverine's final run, or here's one last ride. It's never one
Nah.
last ride. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's
And
he
it
coming
wastes
right back.
for real, and it exhausts all
Right
of your
back.
emotions because you read it and it's real, and they put so much effort into these like last hurrahs. And I'm not saying they're
Yeah.
not done well. I'm just saying they're wasted because it's not the end. You're just gonna pin him next week.
Yeah, I remember the X-Men comics like years back where Colossus died or whatever. And like they had this nice little storyline with him. I think he had like the legacy virus or whatever. That was like what is it? It was like AIDS for mutants or something like that. It was something crazy, like only mutants could catch it, and then like it was like fatal or whatever. Um, and like, yeah, he caught it, and they had this whole beautiful thing where like, we're saying bye to Colossus, and like he was gone for a minute. He was gone for a minute, but then he came right back. It was like, it was like a reboot or something like that. And they're like, yep, and here's Colossus because, F you, we bringing him back. We need him back. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of been like a shortfall of the comics. It's like Spider-Man can't die for real. You know what I'm saying? He's always going to come back and they got to sell more comics. So it could be that with the movies too, like, but or we could say that with like Tom Holland Spider-Man, like when his time to go, like Chris Evans, I guess, his Captain
Mhm.
America, we could say, okay, that character is gone, but they're gonna bring him back. They're gonna make another Captain America at some point, so that's where they
Yeah.
kind of can like have a bit of a leg up on the comic books in that way.
But they don't need to bring him back. You know what I mean? Like Captain America 4 can be Sam. It doesn't have to be Chris Evans. Chris Evans don't got to be in that movie at all. In fact, I would almost prefer the only way I want to see Chris Evans back is if they do Secret Empire with Hydra Cap. That's the only way I want to see it. I don't care what people think about that story. I love Secret Empire. I will make an exception for that story. But outside of that, and like with Tom Holland, if he didn't come back to play Spider-Man, that's a bittersweet ending for the character where we got at the end of No Way Home, where they just don't. He has effectively been erased from
Yeah.
existence in the cultural memory. So it's like his story could be over. It's a sad end, but it could be an end. And that's all I'm saying. I just want endpoints to some of these characters so I can feel
Yeah, they did.
complete.
They cleaned that up pretty good too. They said, all right, if we can't get him signed on to like another couple movies, all right, well, he's we can just move on. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we don't need him. We can bring somebody else in because they don't know who he is anyway, right? So
Word.
yeah, and yeah, we got another damn minute on this thing.
I mean,
So
we can call it for real.
we can wrap it.
Yeah, we done covered everything.
All right, cool. So yeah, and that has been another episode of the A.n.A podcast. If you like what you hear, don't forget to click like and subscribe, and also follow us on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Audible, Amazon Music, and just a couple of other things, except for Apple. Apple sucks. So hey, man, we will catch y'all next week, and have a good one.
We back, right?